Hello, this is yours truly, Charles Prosper, your consistency success coach. And in this installment, I want to get a little deep about the whole concept and mystical magic of rhythmic consistency. What would you say if I told you that the basis of the existence of all of the universe, of all of life, is based on consistency, is based on consistent, rhythmic, cyclical consistency? So, what does this say about you? If the essence of life itself is based on rhythm and consistency, doesn't this give you a clue as to what direction you should be going in also? Look, even the Bible talks about consistency and rhythm. And I wanted to be real cool and just quote this part of the Bible that's in Ecclesiastics, but I'm going to have to read it. I don't want to mess it up. I'm not like a preacher. Well, I am, sort of, but not the kind that's on the pulpit. So the Bible talks about consistency and rhythm. I'll just read the beginning of it. This is the one that is found in Ecclesiastic chapter 3, verses 1 through 8. I'll just read you the first part. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted. And it goes on to talk about other cyclical, rhythmical, consistent things that must continue. So, I'm going to go deep, philosophically deep, and this whole subject of consistency is the secret and the essence of life itself. You need to be a participant in this parade of consistency, because this is all about how life moves and exists in rhythmic, cyclical patterns, in the same way that when you set a goal, you have to move with repeatable, cyclical, consistent patterns in order to achieve your goal. So let's take a look at why and how consistency is the essence of the entire universe. Okay, here we go.
Hello, my friend. Have you ever considered that consistency is how the universe works? How is it that we can go out every day of the year and never have to worry about the sky falling? Though silly and frivolous on the surface, the answer to this question reveals a profound and awesome reality of how the universe works. We can go out confidently without worrying that the sky will fall, or that gravity will stop working, or that the sun will suddenly go dark, because we have consistently seen that the opposite to all of this is true. We know that a certain scientific law keeps the universe together and operating in a particular way. Scientific laws are based on consistency, and scientific laws are established because of their consistent cause and effect relationship. What goes up must come down has been the consistent law of gravity since the beginning of time. We know a law by its reliable, consistent, and unchangeable nature. And it is even interesting to know that when we say that we know something, examine very closely. Knowing is no more than believing something without doubt. with enough consistent behavior over time, there is a point that we declare knowledge of that which is observed. However, underlying the assertion of all knowledge is a strong belief in the reliable, consistent, and unchangeable nature of what we observe or conceive to be true. Cycles are the core of universal consistency. It just takes a little observation to notice that cycles pervade all areas and all aspects of life. It is how the universe can manage a mind-boggling multiplicity of events simultaneously occurring without one activity seriously impacting or impeding the other. There are large cycles and small cycles. There are cycles within cycles. Some cycles may last a few seconds, while other cycles may repeat themselves every year, every 100 years, or more. The first thing you notice about a cycle is that it consistently repeats itself in a similar, uniform way, in that, if studied, can be predicted with reasonable accuracy. Approximately every 12 hours of the day, there will be a sunrise followed by a sunset approximately 12 hours later. In order for traffic to flow easily through intersections, there is a cycle of red light, yellow light, and green light. You generally get up to go to work at a certain hour, which is followed by a typical hour that you go home. We normally go to bed at a certain time and wake up at a certain time. While we're asleep, there's a dream cycle. Approximately every 90 minutes we dream, whether we remember the dream upon awakening or not. Curly hair happens because it grows in a cycle of spurts. It grows, then pauses. It grows, then pauses. This start-stop growth is what creates the curl. A woman has her period, barring abnormalities, every 28 days. Should the woman become pregnant, the average gestation period preceding birth happens every 9 months. Breathing is cyclic. Adults normally take 12 to 20 breaths per minute. Strenuous exercise drives the breath up to an average of 45 breaths per minute. Some people blink about 6 blinks per minute, while others may blink as much as 30 blinks per minute. Every blink rate can vary from person to person, but what is for sure is that each person has a measurable average blink rate. In fact, a blink rate could not exist were it not measurable and cyclical. If we step back just a bit, we can remind ourselves of the grand life cycle to which we are all subjected. Conception, birth, growth, aging, and death. Consistent growth defines survival. Growth and consistency become equivalent to survival. I can say that this relates to physical survival, emotional survival, and spiritual survival. A human cell must consistently grow to survive. Once a sperm fertilizes the ovum, the zygote, that is, the fertilized sperm and egg, must immediately begin to consistently divide and grow in order to survive. Cessation of growth means certain death. The cessation of growth means certain death is no less true on an emotional level as well. As we pass from infant to toddler to adolescent to adult, there must be a consistent emotional growth or what we call maturity, in order for the adult to survive in the real world. Emotional maturity is a survival mechanism. A person with little or no emotional maturity is not likely to have the discipline to survive and thrive. An emotionally immature person shuns both discipline and responsibility. They procrastinate a lot. They blame others rather than seeing themselves as first cause. Denial is the mechanism by which all pseudo-solutions become possible. Pseudo-solutions are usually excesses of some sort which divert and distract the mind from facing whatever happens to be the real cause of the problem. Pseudo-solutions can take the form of anything in excess, which can be sex, drugs, food, music, or any other normal diversion, but taken to the extremes. A person who does not consistently grow spiritually will, generally speaking, only have rare moments of inner peace and a sense of purpose. Gratitude becomes foreign, and people, events, and material things never seem enough. They never satisfy the soul. The planets consistently revolve. The universe must operate consistently in order to continue to exist. All that we can feel, touch, see, and all that we can't see, feel, and touch is governed by law and order. Law and order, by definition, must operate consistently. If what goes up and must come down operates today, but not tomorrow, but again for the next 3 days afterwards, and then does not happen for the next 2 years, would hardly be seen as a law and order. If planets did not follow a consistent pattern of revolving around each other, they would have collided a long time ago. But planets, solar systems, and galaxies have been revolving around each other for eons of time. Without a consistent and ordered pattern of revolution, none of this miracle would have ever been possible. The seasons consistently change. Winter, spring, summer, fall. We can rely on this. There are occasional anomalies to seasonal rhythms. That is, some summer or winter temperatures may start a little later or a little earlier than usual, but the sequential order does not change. When studied closer, I would postulate that even so-called anomalies happen, when they do happen, in some predictable pattern and cycle. With enough time and careful observation, all cycles can reveal themselves. All movement or activity must exist within its own rhythm and cycle. My reasoning for this is that since there are a myriad of other movements of activities that must coexist, coexistence is only possible if everyone drives in their own lane, to use the parlance of freeway traffic. The sun consistently shines. The sun consistently shines whether our side of the earth is facing it or not. Another thing that's interesting about how the sun shines is that the heat does not move in a straight line. It moves in what scientists call solar waves. A solar wave is another way of saying that the heat pulsates rhythmically or cyclically from the sun's surface and outward towards its planets. We are beginning to see that consistent action must repeat itself, and to remain consistent, all activity must establish for itself a rhythm of repeatability. This is why carrying out a planned activity that is part of a new goal is best achieved when the planned activity is structured with a same time, same place, rhythmic cycle. Our heart consistently beats. The regularity of our heartbeat quintessentially defines consistency. The rhythm of the heartbeat is measured in beats per minute, or BMP. The average adult has a resting heart rate of about 60 to 100 beats per minute. As you exercise and become fitter, your resting heart rate drops from maybe 40 to 60 beats per minute, or even lower. I remember having read somewhere that during deep meditation, your heartbeat can go to as low as 10 to 20 beats per minute. My own experience with meditation corroborates this. In this section, we are looking at the incredible consistency of how the heart beats. Let us say that the average heartbeat is about 80 beats per minute. This means that your heart beats about 4,800 times per hour. This is a whopping 115,200 times per day. Over the course of a year, your heart would beat 42,048,000 times per year. That is 42,048,000 times per year. I think we should stop right now and send some love and gratitude to our amazing heart for the non-stop, relentless, consistent job that it carries out to keep us alive. Let's take an even broader look. If you live to 80 years old, your precious heart will have beaten approximately 3,363,840,000 times. Wow. Your heart is really serious about keeping you alive. Now, here comes the most important part. Without consistency, the universe ceases to exist. So what does that say about you and your need to be consistent? We mentioned just a few of the many universal phenomena about how the universe moves consistently. The planets consistently revolve, the seasons consistently change, the sun consistently shines, and our heart consistently beats. Even with this very small list, the absence of consistency would spell chaos, death, and disaster. Consistency allows all that is to continue to exist. And let me end with this by saying, God is the original rhythm of universal consistency. In God we trust because God is consistent and unchangeable. In consistency we trust because trust is predicated on the existence of consistency. Looking at it in this way, consistency is a godlike quality which, when directed toward a worthwhile goal, leads us to self-fulfillment and self-realization. Now, before we go, I would like to invite you to become a part of my community at the Prosper Success Consistency membership site, where you will be a part of a group of consistent-minded people, a community of consistent-minded people that will help you stay on track in achieving your particular goal. As a member of the Prosper Membership Success site of consistency,
you will have access to live coaching calls that will allow you to refine and focus on achieving your goal, as well as have access to accountability partners who will be assigned to you to help you stay on track to achieve your goal, as well as you're being assigned to another member to help him or her stay on their goal. We help each other focus and stay consistent until we achieve the goal that we have set in mind. And I would like to invite you to go right now to the Prosper Consistency membership site by going to www.consistencysuccesscoach.com, and you'll be glad you did. In addition, I put out daily, consistent content on the subject of consistency, so as to not miss any of the jewels that I have to offer, and I think they're awesome. You want to definitely like and subscribe right now so that you don't miss out on anything that I'll be producing. Now, I consider myself the absolute number one person, go-to person on the subject of consistency. I wrote a book that is on Amazon, that took Amazon by storm, Why Consistency is the Secret to All Success and How to Be Consistent to Achieve Any Goal, that you can find on Amazon, www.amazon.com. And if you're still not convinced that I am your go-to person for achieving consistency, let me just read a few of the unsolicited, verified purchases of the people who have read my book and have given me their unsolicited comment. I have a plethora of 5-star ratings on Amazon reviews. I don't want to overwhelm you and read all of them, but let me read 3 of the 5-star unsolicited reviews that people have given me in regards to my book. We have an Amazon customer writes, who read the book, Prosper has written one of the best and most descriptive books I've ever read on consistency. In my opinion, Mr. Prosper has written one of the best and most descriptive books I've ever read on consistency. This book answers the obvious question as well as cracks the code on how to be successful in whatever endeavor you embark upon in life. Amazing. Here is another person, verified purchase from Amazon, leaving me a 5-star unsolicited comment after having read my book. Writes, inside of myself and get out of the bad habit of making excuses. This book is awesome, enlightening. It helped me look deep inside of myself and get out of the bad habit of making excuses, blaming my circumstances, or blaming others for my lack of consistency. I am already learning how to apply these principles to my life. I am so thankful for Mr. Charles Prosper for sharing his knowledge in profound way of expressing his wisdom. Thank you. Want to hear another one? Okay. Vanessa Jules, verified purchase, writes, a must read. I enjoyed reading this book. A certain part of this book brought tears to my eyes. I've always had an issue about being consistent, and after reading this book, I will try my utmost to be consistent. It's not going to happen overnight, but I want to put into practice what this book says. I wish I knew Charles I. Prosper to say thank you for a great book. I searched for him on Facebook but couldn't find him. I intend to purchase all his books. God bless those writing hands. Okay, there you go. If you need some opinion other than mine, there you have it. So with this, I would like to say, until the next time, stay consistent and be successful.